Hello and welcome to another edition of Forgotten Franchises. Now, in this show, I like to take a look at sports franchises that have become defunct, that went out of business, but survive still in the loyal fans, the memories of the loyal fans that are out there. Um, these sports teams are long gone. You know, their executives have gone on to other things. The players have gone on to other things, but the fans' love of the game keeps them alive. And I'd like to make this page just so you can share your memories and you can share how wonderful it was. Now, today's subject are the Tampa Bay Bandits of the United States Football League. And actually, I have a little story. Usually I tell a story about the franchise. First of all, I got to tell a story about how I made this video. Usually in the week or weeks leading up to making this video, I'd go ahead and do my research, type up a lot of information so I can go ahead and give you all of it. But what I found, I was going to sit down for a couple of hours yesterday. I was going to Buffalo Wild Wings just to have lunch and just make some notes. I found a couple of wonderful, wonderful fan-run sites that are all about the USFL. And it goes to show you how passionate, how much of a impact that this league made on fans, to have fans this passionate, to have this kind of information. I'm going to have the links down below. Check out those links. It's about the entire USFL, the entire history, everyone who played, all the coaches, all the owners, all the stadiums that they played in. For a league that only lasted 3 years, it sure as hell had a hell of a following. And I sat down and I was just going to spend an hour just getting a few last-minute notes and getting stuff together. And I ended up spending 4 hours just reading up on the USFL because it was just fascinating. Everything in it was just fascinating. Amazing. So do check out those links. So here, let me go ahead and give you a little story about the Bandits. I'm really just going to take a look at the site and get information off of that. I put down my notes. I said, these notes suck. This has so much more information. On every page, there's more information on everything. So the Bandits were part of the USFL. It was started by John Bassett, who, of course, was one of the founders, or I should say, started a team in the World Football League and moved it from Canada down to Memphis. Had a horrible experience with it, but still wanted to own a franchise, and was really one of the people who designed this league, who designed the USFL. And the USFL ran from 83 to 85, okay? And the Bandits were one of the only teams to have the same owner, the same head coach, and they played in the same stadium for all 3 years. I think there's only 4 teams that did that out of the entire league. And, of course, the head coach was none other than former University of Florida Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and a quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They picked up from offensive coordinator from Duke, Steve Spurrier. He was the youngest head coach in professional football at the time, at 37 years old. And from there, he went to become head coach at Duke, then head coach at the University of Florida, and so on and so forth. The ball of history rolls on from there. But this was his first opportunity to be a head coach, and he started up what was commonly known as Bandit Ball, which was basically what he ran at the University of Florida, the pass-happy offense, while everyone else was really trying to run the ball. Despite that, they still had wonderful rushers in the game. We'll get to that in a second. But he really opened up the passing game. The team itself was really just, it was more popular than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who played in the same stadium, Tampa Stadium, because the Bucs were terrible at the time. Between 83 and 85, I believe they only won about 18 games, while the Bandits went on to win 35 games in that time. And overall, they were 35 and 19 in the regular season, although they never did win a playoff game. One of the chief owners of the team, I should say executive owners in the team, was Burt Reynolds, who lives over in Jupiter, Florida, and he was the one who came up with the idea of the Bandits because he, of course, played the Bandit in Smokey and the Bandit, and he was a major move as far as the popularity of the team, because he was God at the time, and he went ahead and put his face on the program for the first program for the team. His face was on it, and it just sold like wildfire. Most of this team is just a fascinating story of winning their 35 games. They didn't go to the playoffs the first year, even though they had 11-7 record. Went on to have a 14-4 record, 10-8 record. Just a phenomenal time. John Roush was the offensive coordinator for Spurrier, he was the offensive coordinator for the Bucks in 1976 when Spurrier played there, and he of course was the head coach for the Oakland Raiders when they went to the Super Bowl back in Super Bowl II. They just worked together so well. In fact, let's just take a look here real fast. John Reeves played quarterback there for 2.5 years. He put up 4,000-yard seasons in both of the final 2 years of the USFL. Gary Anderson, an amazing running back. Amazing. Just a guy that really, when I moved to Tampa, he was on the Buccaneers. He had actually moved over from the USFL to the NFL. And really an underrated player. Just a great running back. In the final year of the league, he ran for 1,200 yards in Spurrier's pass-happy offense. And John Reeves threw for almost 4,200 yards. And Danny Buggs from FSU, an incredible receiver. Eric Trevelyan from Florida A&M, another amazing wide receiver. They actually had one player that did their kickoffs, punts, and extra points, and I'm gonna screw up his name because his name is really special. It's Zenon Andrzejushin. If I got that wrong, please put the right pronunciation down below in the comments. I really would like to see that. They had Fred Norgan. They had all kinds of different. They had an amazing group of players that were. Just listing off some of the players that were there. Lex Luger, who ended up being a professional wrestler, he was on this team as an offensive tackle. There's just so many interesting stories in this team. It's just a fascinating. I could go on and on and on. Like I said, I ended up reading this for hours. And it's just so fascinating. And you know something? If I went ahead and told y'all everything on it, number one, I'd have a huge long video. And number two, it would not do justice to these sites and do justice to the team. So this site's about you. It's not about me. Okay? This video is more about the fans of the Tampa Bay Bandits. I want to hear about Bandit ball, damn it. I was living in Gainesville. I didn't get to see any Bandit ball. Actually, my folks used to do concessions up at the Gator Bowl for the Jacksonville Bulls games, including a game with the Tampa Bay Bandits, and one with the New Jersey Generals, and one with the Federals. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear the USFL stories, because damn it, I wasn't really around for them, and I want to hear all about the USFL, and I want to hear all about just how great the Bandits were. This site, if anything else, these sites will make me do more of these Forgotten Franchises episodes about USFL teams, because they're just so damn fascinating. I know this one's going to suck a bit because I didn't really give you a whole lot of great information, but damn it, I couldn't give it justice. I really couldn't. Check out these two sites down below, and please, if you have a story about Bandit Ball, I want to hear them. I want to hear how great the Tampa Bay Bandits really were, because I wish I was there. I know. I think was it Danny Buggs, or was it Eric Trevelyan who used to do the backflips after he scored touchdowns? I really don't know, and I want to know. So please send your information down. If you like what you see on here, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. I've got all kinds of other videos. This is probably not the best of my Forgotten Franchises episodes, but I would like to hear your suggestions. If you have a suggestion of a team that you'd like to hear on Forgotten Franchise, a team that's gone defunct, but still has a wonderful fan base. I want to hear about it, and I will see you on the next Forgotten Franchises.